This week's retro review, Shore Leave, after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in Shore Leave, the crew of the Enterprise has been in kind of a rough month, and so they are looking for a planet that they might be able to have a bit of R&R. And they come across this particular planet that does have everything that's been called for, a lot of greenery, a very park-like atmosphere, and they decide that they will send down some survey crews, McCoy and Sulu. We have Esteban and Angela, who I think were almost got married in one of the previous series, and actually he dies. So this obviously was filmed before a large white rabbit with a pocket watch and a girl that looks like Alice following him. And as the other members of the crew are doing their shore leave survey, they're finding some odd things. All they have to do is think about something and it comes to life, and some of that could be deadly. So this is the puzzle that they have to solve, and that is the essence of Shore Leave. But we also learned something about some of the characters. We have a new yeoman. Her name is Burroughs. I don't know if she's used after this particular episode, but while she is attending to the captain at the beginning of the episode, we find that she has kind of a liking for McCoy, and that is returned. And so it looks like the two of them have started some kind of relationship down on the planet, and she becomes kind of the damsel in distress. This, unfortunately, after they've gotten rid of Grace Lee Whitney to play Yeoman Rand, they just found another actor to come in and be the victim of somebody else's attack. Thankfully, it wasn't something that was overwhelmingly present in the episode. It was among other things that happened, like the appearance of a tiger, an aircraft making a strafing run, a samurai. There are other things that are happening to various other members of the survey landing party, and Kirk tries to get to the bottom of it while meeting up with an old flame and an old nemesis. So it's a satisfying show in that you see something about the captain's past that has not yet been revealed. We see something in McCoy, although it doesn't say much about his character, just that, he kind of likes the ladies, and they show that in a couple of places in there. This is the first episode that I've seen of the original series that had such a wide landscape. Usually they would film location stuff in a rock quarry, and so a lot of alien planets look like a bunch of rocks. This one was probably done in Griffith Park, which is near Los Angeles, and it would have the flora and fauna that was being shown. And for once, they were showing some fairly wide shots of them running across places and things like that, when they're usually fairly stage-bound. That was a nice change of pace for this show, and for any number of Star Trek TV programs since, that they tend to be kind of boxed into a planet that you can walk across, whereas this, they could actually run, they could actually show long shots of pursuits and things like this. I thought it was a good use of the location that they had. The only thing I can say is that Kirk's nemesis, Finnegan, was a little overly Irish. Obviously, it is in an era when there is no racial prejudice, and in the mid-'60s, when the networks are trying to become more even-handed in racial issues, that it's still okay to poke fun at the Irish. A couple of places where I don't know why they didn't make any connections to Talos 4, except for the fact that they filmed these all out of order, so who knows if they would have known what came before or after, and so they made no reference to it. There was some talk as to whether these things were illusions, but we're fairly certain that they weren't after a short period of time. At the end of the episode, they have all of the crew together except for Angela. They don't know what happened to her, and nobody seemed to ask about it. Even when they all come back onto the bridge, she's not there. So evidently, that was just she only had a couple of days of work that week and did not come back for the end of the episode. We hadn't heard anything since of his girlfriend, Ruth. Obviously, it was a very close relationship, different from Carol Marcus, who was established as the woman he almost married, thrown to him by Gary Mitchell during Academy days. There's talk about Academy, and this is something that is woven through the fabric of the original series, where Kirk has fond memories of things at the Academy and people he's met at the Academy, although usually when anybody is mentioned that Kirk knew at the Academy, they didn't last through the end of the episode. In this case, Finnegan was not real, not really him, so he was just kind of left alive, so to speak. Also, I think the first mention in the series of Rigel, the Rigel system has a number of inhabitable planets, and many of them are places people like to go to take R&R, and so they mentioned Rigel 2. I think this is the only time Rigel 2 has been mentioned in any of the series. So all in all, a very good show that holds up over the years. It was well done for the production values that they had at the time, and nothing very cheesy in it, with the exception of the White Rabbit. It was obviously someone in a rabbit suit and kind of clunkily executed, but everything else went rather smoothly, and it was an enjoyable episode. I'd like to know what you think. Put it down in the comments below, and of course, if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, because we do get a kick out of having more people as our fellow nerds. And of course, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't provide any obligation of any sort, but it does help out the channel, so I appreciate that if you will do that. So until next time, when we will be talking about the Galileo 7, don't go far.